ask anyone to pray with him. And the vermin in the ACLU, who are the greatest threat to our civilization, and Trump gets around to it after he settles all of his other problems, he must investigate the Southern Poverty Law Center and the ACLU and the National Lawyers Guild under RICO statutes. It's the only way to save this country, but that's a long way from now. Meanwhile, we have a long way to go. So I took my journey. You know, it's a funny thing about this God, Faith, and Reason book. I got to tell you something funny about it. I didn't set out to write this book. The book wrote itself. It wrote me. Now, I want to talk about the picture. Many of you have gone on to michaelsavage.com, or you went to amazon.com, because I just posted it about 30 minutes ago. I would do this after the last political book, right? Well, I didn't write the book after the last political book. It's been written since I've been writing. I've been searching for God. Have I found him? No. I have taken snapshots of God in my soul. Visual picture for me, isn't it? The original title of this book was God's War. Did you know that? And a good friend of mine, who's a genius, said, no, stick with your second title, God, Faith, and Reason. He said, you don't need to go to war, nor do you have to say God is at war with man. I'm trying to appeal to people who are reasonable to understand that they're not here alone. They didn't create themselves. That the world did not begin and end when they were born, and it doesn't end when they die. Well, unfortunately, however, I have a scintilla of prophecy in my genes. I know that. So, God, Faith, and Reason. What am I going to tell you about it? Let me talk about Burning Man, for example, the antithesis of God. People go there for round-the-clock sex and drugs, and the idiot morons who run the San Francisco Chronicle, who will not report on the corruption in the city, never, ever report on it unless it's a white male who did something horrible. Yeah. I never went to the Burning Man Festival, but I didn't go to Woodstock either, not once. My eyes are lying around in the dirt smoking dope or taking LSD, so I didn't go to Woodstock. I have to look at the newspapers and read about celebrities and tech execs with luxury camps flocking to Burning Man. What is the value in going to an event where people walk around stoned out of their minds, with tattoos on their noses, tattoos in their tongues? What is this? Burning an effigy. If this is not biblical, I don't know what is. This is what the Bible wrote about. It is what the Bible warned about. And why do people go to it? Well, because they don't believe in God, they don't believe in religion, they don't believe in anything, they believe in themselves. This is what's replaced it. Some say, well, they go there to have a good time. Well, what's a good time about this? That year they sold 30,000 tickets in Reno Gazette-Journal. And then we read about the idiotic celebrities who attend. Paris Hilton, some celebrity. She has to be there stripped half down to her belly button to get a little ink. Of course, Paris Hilton is so yesterday. Of course, Torino and appeared half naked on a float. And personally, I don't even know who Katy Perry is. I've heard she's a celebrity. Of course, she wouldn't miss Burning Man for the world. But now you can find Silicon Valley deadbeats there in force. Let's see. The classic East Coast liberals who think anyone who believes in God is a Nazi or crazy, a fantasist or a lunatic. The classic East Coast liberals are out of touch with reality, directly related to biblical teachings. You'd have to understand that Exodus 24:6 in the original Jewish Bible says this: Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. They are making wooden effigies and burning them. So the degenerate cities like San Francisco, where Nancy Pelosi says a parade of leather people beating each other up in the streets is part of our value system, so-called leather parades. And Nancy Pelosi calls it wholesome. Well, these are the antithesis, the antithetical teachings of the Bible. Those of us who see what this is, and those of us who don't see what this is between those of us who, as George Orwell said, I see people screaming, I am free, I am free, I am free, and I hear their chains rattling. Well, that's what I see in San Francisco. The more they scream about how wild and free they are, the more they know they're enslaved. And the more I see people flocking to Burning Man, the more I know America is degenerating into the house of bondage. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. All of you who are going into the desert, realize where you are going. You are going into hell itself. And that's why I wrote God, Faith, and Reason. Be further into hell. Put a copy of it in your child's bedroom. Don't say a word to him. Eyes, and see if he can mock me. See if that sneering, pot-smoking son of yours can look at the man on God, Faith, and Reason's book cover, and see if the child doesn't stop for 1 second and ask himself, who is that man? Why is it that that picture is appealing to me? Now, I got to tell you something about that picture. I promised to tell you about where the picture came from, Robert. I'm under the stop-set rules of talk radio. I'll tell you in a minute. I'm tired right now. I've talked myself out. WABC Susan God is the finding itself. It's the most important piece of uranium that I put into this book. Don't understand. Well, I tried to find God. I prayed and nothing happened. What the praying or the searching is the finding itself.
Now, 855-400-SAVAGE. 855-400-7282. SAVAGE.
Only company I trust with my financial future. Call 800-289-2646 or SwissAmerica.com.
Clinton is there. What do you say, Clinton?
I was just calling to get your opinion on how you think the Razorbacks are going to do throughout the season with their new wide receiver core and their young running backs and stuff.
Which was not a great year, although it could have been. Sloppiness and mistakes really cost the Razorbacks down the stretch. They threw away that Missouri game. They did the same thing in the Belk Bowl. I think 8 wins is realistic. Thank you for the call.
I believe that somewhere in the darkest night